He takes a breath in that firelit hall, and he tells them his name. "I am Odysseus," he says, "son of Laertes, known in every land for my cunning and my lies." And then, to the king and queen and all the seafaring lords of Phaeacia, the man who has hidden his face all evening begins to tell the true story of what happened to him after Troy. Everything he has survived, everything that is coming now, you are hearing from his own mouth. "It began," he says, "with the wind. Blown off course on the way home, he and his 12 ships landed among a people called the Cicones, and his men sacked their town. Easy plunder. He told them to grab it and run. They would not listen. They stayed on the beach to drink and feast, and while they drank, the survivors of that town fetched their neighbors. And an army came down at dawn like leaves in spring. 6 men from every ship died on that shore before Odysseus dragged the rest back to sea. That was the first lesson, and his men did not learn it. Greed keeps you on the beach too long. Then a great storm took them, and for 9 days they were driven across open water to a strange, drowsy land. The place of the Lotus-Eaters, a gentle people who meant no harm. They simply offered his scouts their food, a sweet fruit, the lotus. And the moment the men tasted it, something went quiet in them. They forgot the ships, they forgot the sea, they forgot home. All they wanted was to stay and eat and drift and feel nothing forever. Odysseus had to drag them back weeping and tie them under the benches, so they could not swim ashore to that sweet forgetting. Then he rowed hard away from it. Some dangers do not kill you, they only make you stop wanting to leave. And then they came to the land of the Cyclopes. Giants, lawless herdsmen who plant nothing and build nothing and answer to no one, each living alone in his own cave on the mountainside, caring nothing for gods or guests or the customs that hold the human world together. Odysseus should have sailed past, he knew it even then. But he was curious. He wanted to see what kind of creature lived there and whether it might offer him a gift the way a proper host welcomes a stranger. So he took 1 ship and 12 of his best men, and a skin of dark, powerful wine, the strongest he owned, and he went ashore. They found a huge cave, empty, the giant off pasturing his flocks. Inside were pens of lambs and racks of cheese and pails of milk. His men begged him, "Take the cheese, take the lambs, drive them to the ship and go, now, before he comes back." And this is the choice that cost him everything. He says no, he wants to meet the giant, he wants the gift. So they wait, and at dusk the ground shakes. And the Cyclops comes home, driving his flock, so massive he looks less like a man than like a mountain peak standing alone against the sky. His name is Polyphemus. He herds the ewes inside, and then he lifts a stone to seal the door, a boulder so vast that 22 wagons could not have moved it. They are sealed in with him now, there is no way out. He lights his fire and sees them. Strangers, he booms, "Who are you?" Odysseus answers with courtesy, "We are Greeks, wanderers from Troy, and we come as your guests, and the gods protect guests, so honor us as the custom demands." The giant laughs. "We Cyclopes care nothing for your gods," he says, "we are stronger than they are." And then he reaches out, snatches up 2 of the men, dashes them against the ground like puppies and eats them. Flesh, bones, everything, in front of the others. Then he lies down among his sheep and sleeps. Odysseus reaches for his sword. He could drive it through the giant's chest right now, and then he stops. Because if he kills Polyphemus, they are still trapped behind that impossible stone, sealed in a tomb they cannot open. To kill the monster is to die with him. So he waits through the longest night of his life. At dawn the giant eats 2 more men, drives his flock out, seals the door behind him and is gone. 4 men eat. And Odysseus, locked in the reeking cave, begins to think. This is the thing the giant does not understand. He has strength. Odysseus has a mind. He finds a great club of green olive wood, huge as a ship's mast, and he cuts off a length and sharpens it to a point and hardens the tip in the fire and hides it. He picks 4 men by lot to help him, and he waits. At evening the giant returns, seals them in, eats 2 more men. And now Odysseus steps forward, polite, holding a bowl of that dark, powerful wine. "Here," he says, "you have eaten men, now drink." The giant drinks. He has never tasted anything like it. More, he demands, more, and tell me your name, stranger, and I will give you a guest gift. Odysseus gives him more and more until the wine goes to the giant's head. And then he says, "You asked my name. My name is nobody. My mother, my father, all my friends, they call me nobody." The giant grins. "Then here is your gift, nobody. I will eat you last." And he topples over backward, dead drunk, wine and human flesh spilling from his mouth, and sleep takes him. Now, they heat the steak in the coals until the green wood glows, and they lift it together, and they drive the burning point deep into the giant's single eye and lean on it and spin it, round and round, the way a shipwright drills a beam, and the eye hisses and crackles and the blood boils around the wood. Polyphemus wakes screaming, a howl that shakes the rocks, and he wrenches the stake from his ruined eye and roars into the night. And the other Cyclopes come running to his cave, calling through the door. "What is wrong, Polyphemus? Is someone hurting you? Is someone killing you?" And the blind giant bellows back the truth. "Nobody is killing me. Nobody by trickery, not by force." And his neighbors sigh. "If nobody is hurting you, they call, then you are sick, and that is the will of the gods, and there is nothing we can do. Pray to your father Poseidon." Outside the cave, in the dark, Odysseus laughs. His false name has worked perfectly. But he is still trapped. So at dawn, when the blind giant rolls back the stone to let his flocks out to graze, he sits in the doorway with his arms spread wide, feeling every animal's back as it passes, certain he will catch the men trying to slip out. He does not think to feel underneath. Because Odysseus has lashed the big rams together in threes and tied a man beneath the belly of each middle one, hidden in the wool, and he himself clings under the finest ram of the whole flock, gripping the fleece with all his strength. And one by one, the sheep walk out between the giant's legs, and the men ride out beneath them, unseen. The great ram carrying Odysseus goes last, and the giant even pauses to stroke it and murmur to it, wondering why his favorite is so slow today, never knowing his enemy is hanging inches beneath his hand. They reach the ship. They drive the stolen flock aboard and row for open water, and they are saved. And here Odysseus makes his second great mistake, and this one he will pay for the rest of his life. He cannot resist. As the ship pulls away, he shouts back across the water, mocking the blinded giant, taunting him. And Polyphemus tears a hilltop loose and hurls it, and it nearly swamps them. His men beg him, "Stop, please, you will get us killed," but his pride is burning too hot. And he calls out one more time, and this time he throws away the trick that saved him. He gives the giant his real name. If anyone asks who blinded you, he shouts, "Tell them it was Odysseus, sacker of cities, son of Laertes, who lives in Ithaca." And the giant groans, because now it all makes sense. "A prophet warned me long ago that a man named Odysseus would take my sight. I always imagined someone tall and strong, not this little nobody with his wine." Then Polyphemus lifts his blind face to the sky, and he prays to his father, the god of the sea. "Hear me, Poseidon. If this man is truly your son's enemy, then grant that Odysseus never reaches home. Or if he must reach it, let him come late and broken and alone, having lost every one of his men, in someone else's ship, and let him find nothing but grief waiting in his own house." And out in the deep, the sea god hears his son, and he nods. Odysseus does not know it yet. He is laughing on the deck of his ship, sailing away with his stolen sheep and his cleverness and his name. He thinks he has won. But the whole long ruin of his journey home, every storm and shipwreck and drowned companion still to come, begins in this moment, with a proud man who could not sail past an island and could not stay quiet when he should have. The one eye is blinded, the curse is spoken, and the sea is listening now.